All right. Well, this is philosophy discussion section one. My name is Christian Maloney, and I'm actually going to start from the second portion and then do the first last. I thought that order seemed a little better. Um, yeah, like I said, my name is Christian Maloney, and as far as public speaking goes, not really my favorite thing. Matter of fact, I really just don't like it at all. I haven't had to do it most of my life. I don't usually put myself in those situations. Um, so, not a big deal. The last 6 months, I come to ETSU, Dr. Hilton. She very much so believes in if you can teach something, then that's the best way for you to be able to learn it and retain it, is if you can teach it to somebody else. Um, and so she has us all constantly presenting, getting up in front of the class, public speaking. Um, Definitely helpful. You can tell, like in the commandments video, the more you do it, the better it gets. um, I did notice one thing from the 10 Commandments video, or the 3 Commandments video. The first one really resonated with me as far as retaining information, knowing the material. I wouldn't say that I lack um, research, or I don't do enough. It might be like a mix between like the nerves and maybe I could have done more. Um, but when I think about it, it seems like that first commandment about just like being confident in the material is what really like bothers me. Um, when I give presentations, I just don't feel confident about it. And so I feel like I'm gonna try and be more organized over the course of this semester and try to like really retain the information when I give a presentation and see if maybe like my opinion on public speaking and presentations changes if I'm actually like really educated on what I'm talking about. Because there's probably some winging it here and there, but anyway. So on to the first portion of the discussion section. So this addresses Russell and his argument. Russell argues that one benefit of philosophy is that it decreases our certainty and it makes us more doubtful about things that we usually take for granted. So I'm going to explain how Russell argues that increasing doubt is a good thing. I personally agree, but I'll get to that a little later. Um, so I thought it was an enjoyable argument from Russell. Philosophy in general is a field that's focused on ideas and theories and things that lack data or information that can be attributed to them. Not everything stays philosophical or in the philosophy field forever, like astronomy, all that you discussed in your video. Things can come and go, but there's a lot of things that stay there for a very long time. Philosophy really questions things beyond the surface level, and I think that going below that level for a lot of people can be something that's like really beautiful. And so Russell says on page 27 and 28, the value of philosophy is to be sought largely in its very uncertainty. And so what I think that kind of means is that lack of answers that the philosophy field doesn't have for people is kind of like a freedom for a lot of people. And so Russell, wholeheartedly believes that it's better this way. Like I said, I do agree. I do prefer it on that end of the spectrum. Russell actually made the argument that like a human being on this planet without alternative philosophical ideals or ideas that are just, if he doesn't embrace anything other than his simple day-to-day life, it's like an imprisonment of his mind. The world becomes very simple and finite. But yeah, I think that a lack of answers, it allows your imagination to just be free. It's easy to get caught up in a day-to-day funk, but there's really so much on a day-to-day basis that we know nothing about. And so imagine if every second of your day in the back of your mind was just like dedicated to like letting your mind roam free. One phrase that came to mind for me was ignorance is bliss. Um, a lack of answers in this case, or a lack of information, you know, could be bliss compared to anything else. Um, it sort of lets you form your own reality, and so we all have this desire to be curious and search for the truth. And I think that's the important part. Um, Overall, I think the questions are what make philosophy special, and definitely not the answers. And that is it for discussion section 1. Thank you.